Evening everybody, RuneScape here, back for another Transformers review. Going to be doing, as per the title page, Hoist, Generation 1 Autobot. Now I don't have the original G1 toy, so instead I'm looking at his Generation/Classic/Universe figure. Hoist is, in some regards, a second-tier character. He's fairly well known amongst fans of the classic series, but he's nowhere near the likes of Bumblebee, Starscream, Megatron, or the ever-glorious Optimus Prime, in terms of just his overall impact on the franchise. Hoist's bio lists his function as maintenance. He somewhat shares the role of medic with Ratchet in that he's involved with repairs and such, though he's more like your family physician. He performs routine checkups on the other Autobots, who must submit to his tight schedule. No exceptions. He's very good at his job, but at the same time, he enjoys it. And on top of that, he's very jovial, loyal, strong, courageous, and just an all-around pleasant bot. Hoist has quite a strong friendship with Grapple. In fact, TF Wiki describes him as the Dr. Watson to Grapple's troubled artist. He's very supportive, though he brings Grapple down to earth when the latter's ego inflates without warning. In the 80s cartoon, Hoist speaks with a very British-sounding accent, with phrases like, "Amazing, Grapple. Incredible. Absolutely incredible." Yeah, I can't do accents for the life of me. But anyway, Hoist first appears in the second season, in the two-part episode Dinobot Island, and he's one of those that just randomly shows up with no reason as to how or why. I don't think he even does anything, he's just there in the background. His first major role would be in the episode The Master Builders, where he and Grapple plan to construct a solar power tower for collecting, what else? Solar energy. And you see some of that friendship I was talking about. When they propose the idea to Optimus, he rejects, saying, impressive as the tower sounds, there's no way to defend it against an attack. At that point, Hoist and Grapple are called out to repair Powerglide, and they do, after which they head off, and Grapple, despite several reminders from Hoist, actually contemplates building this tower behind Prime's back. They run into the Constructicons, who, having overheard the two of them, wish to assist in the creation of this tower. Scrapper claims his team has left Megatron since he took them for granted, and they provide them with energons stolen from Megatron as proof of their new loyalties. Naturally, this is all a ruse, though you do get some good comedy from this, and even some subtle heartwarming moments, up until the inevitable betrayal. Once it happens, Hoist and Grapple are imprisoned in a sheet of metal, until they're rescued at the end of the episode. Throughout the rest of Season 2, Hoist shows up, doing what he does best. Sometimes he's in the Ark's workshop/repair bay, other times he's out in the battlefield. He's not the most prominent character, to be honest, though he does have at least two other adventures. The first is in a Decepticon raider in King Arthur's court, where he, Warpath and Spike, along with some of the cons, are transported back to the 6th century, and get caught in a conflict between two kingdoms. Various alliances are formed, and the knights have a jousting tournament to try and settle this dispute. And what is said dispute over? Cows. Hoist wields Spike a suit of armor so that the latter may enter this tournament. Aside from that, he doesn't do an awful lot when you think about it. Most of the episode is centered on Starscream wanting to rule both kingdoms, Spike attempting to rescue the kidnapped princess, with some of Warpath's "Wow! BAM!" thrown in for good measure. The other is in Hoist Goes to Hollywood, where he, Spike, and Carly wind up in the middle of a film set after pursuing two of its stunt cars. And in another of those typical 80s cartoon formulas, Hoist is offered a role in the movie, which he accepts. Though again, he's relegated to the background when the more egotistical Autobots show up, as in Sunstreaker, Trax, Warpath again, and Powerglide. Simultaneously, the Decepticons have recovered one of Wheeljack's devices. They're not sure what it does, but are caught on film in the process, and they do everything they can to destroy the reel so the device stays a secret. Hoist winds up with this footage and tricks Megatron by dropping it along with Spike and Carly into fake lava, which is weird considering the cons wanted to destroy it anyway. Just don't question the logic of this show. And that's pretty much it for Hoist. He isn't in the '86 movie. He wasn't even scripted to appear as far as I can tell. I don't know much about his roles in the Marvel or Dreamwave comics, since I've never read them, but he is currently in IDW's More Than Meets the Eye. God, I love that comic. Hoist is part of the Lost Light, searching for the Knights of Cybertron. Again, he's pretty much a background character, but on the flip side, he gets his own spotlight, which ties in with this series and is actually packed with this figure. It may get its own review, though I can't say for sure right now. On to the toy. By the way, for those wondering why I haven't done any Combiner Wars reviews, it's because I'm waiting for complete sets of figures, as in the Gestalt teams, before I look into them. But I will say, the ones I have so far, very nice toys, very nice toys. And some listings were revealed both in April and in February, I think it was. I won't go through all of them, but you have all 5 Combaticons, Scattershot, some of the Autobot cars, Shockwave, and Pipes. I really should get Pipes. Then I can review that toy twice on my channel. TANGENT! Anyway, the original G1 Hoist was based off of one of the Diaclones, specifically the 4WD Wrecker type, and it was a repaint/remold of Trailbreaker. And this one follows suit. It is a repaint and retool of Generations Trail Cutter. In truck mode, instead of a canopy, you get this towing hook, which has 3 points of articulation. Unfortunately, it isn't all that secure, because the hole it plugs into is blocked by the head. See, you fold it up, and it goes in all the way. Well done, Hasbro. Apart from that, it's a decent little tow truck. Transforming him, fairly easy. Fold the truck bed halves back to form the legs. Flip down the feet. Fold the arms out and rotate things around. It's a fairly bog standard transformation. Fold the front down. Collapse it in to form the torso. Flip out the fists. And flip out his very G1 inspired head. And here we have Hoist in robot mode, based on his IDW design, so he's much sleeker and lacks that stupid potbelly of the original, though you do kinda get that vibe with the way the hood collapses to form the torso. Again, he is identical to Trailcutter aside from the colours and the head. The towing hook forms his gun. I do think that's quite nifty actually. And it can plug into either fist, forearm, leg, or on his back, so you have options there. Has pretty good posability. The head turns all the way around, the shoulders are on ball joints, there are swivels above each elbow, and the elbows themselves are on hinges. The waist is on a swivel, the hips are on ball joints, and there are swivels below each hip. The knees are on hinges, the feet fold in to support him in various action poses, and that radar or scanner folds back if you want. Overall, he's okay, but at the same time, I think more could have been done with him. I mean, I know this is an update of the character and some things are going to be different, but without his traditional towing apparatus and those wings, he just feels incomplete. However, third-party company X2 Toys released the Strength and Upgrade kit about a year or so ago, and here are some pics. Now this kit is intended for both Hoist and Trailcutter. It comes with a sticker sheet, those chrome guns that replace one of the hands like their G1 toys. You get an extra gun for Trailcutter, and all that towing equipment for Hoist, which forms as wings in robot mode. And I have to say, it adds a lot to this guy. Now I won't be buying the set, as I'm generally not into third-party products. But if you want a more G1 accurate figure, then why not? Dare I? Wait, wrong reviewer. Yeah, then go ahead and get it. At this point, Generations Hoist will set you back at least 20 quid online. That's how I got him, cause after the first wave, none of the thrilling 30 deluxes were released at proper UK retail. In Canada they omitted the comic, which is what they did in the UK for that first wave I've just mentioned. But if you can pick him up at a price that suits you, then he's worth a look, cause he's not a bad toy. I just think there are more fun figures out there, like RC, Waspinator, and Armada Starscream. Guess what I have in the pipeline? That's all for now. I shall be back with my next video, hopefully very soon. But for now, this is RuneScape 228 with Generations Hoist signing off saying, please don't sue. It's a friendly parody.